Welcome in. Hello, night dwellers. It's story time. Hey Kimmy. Hey Bossman. Hello Tara. Hello Nana Sherry. Hey Melanie. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I have a question for you. Do you like scary stories? Hello, Penny. Hey, Con. Hey, Shirley. Hello over there on YouTube. Hey Mary. Tonight is Paranormal Wednesday. You share your stories. Hey, Ohio girl. Hello. Hey, just sent a gift. Thank you for sharing the live, Melanie. Hey, X. Thank you for reposting, Penny. Let's start sharing the live with 5 friends, 10 friends, 15, 20. Let them know there is a story about to take place. Hey Kelly, thank you for sharing the live. Let's start tap, 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 tapping. Hello, Billy73. Welcome in. Hey, Lulu. Hello, Sandra Jefferson. Hello, Ginger Moore. Welcome in. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget, send that daily heart thing. Hello, Tigger. Do you have a paranormal experience to share? Tonight's the night to do it. Hello, Beverly Bright. Hey, Mustang Sally. Mustang Sally in the house. Hello. Hey, Debs. Hello, Siamese. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, thank you. Ginger is killing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, my love. Hey, Tracy. That. Long, flowing, very full. Hello, Slay. Hello, Angie. Hello, Mama Lisa. Thank you, Debs. Hello, Eric Jones. Hello, Hippie Kitty Mama. Hello, Taco. Hello, Just Feed. Thank you, Ginger Moon. Thank you. Hello, Ford. Angie. Welcome back, Lord. Good to see you. Thank you for the roses, Angie. We're at the 4-minute mark. Hello, Diana. Hello, it's just me. Come on in. Paranormal Nights. Oh, I'm so happy about that, Angie. Actually, what I was going to say, just so y'all know, I am autographing my book. I will autograph it live for you when you purchase. Hello, Light Blue 25. Hello, Mia. Do you feel the excitement in the air? You are welcome, Angie. Hello, hello. Why, thank you, Light Blue. Thank you, Lulu. Guys, we're so close to hitting our first live goal already, and we haven't even started. Thank you, Ginger Moore, Judy Willis, thank you. Hello, Nikki. Live goal complete. Woohoo! Hey, little Tito. Hello, Malaysia. Thank you for the follow. Malaysia, do you like scary stories? Ginger, thank you. Yes. Who is ready for Paranormal Wednesday? This is one of my favorite nights of the month. This is when my night dwellers come in and share their paranormal stories. I'm looking forward to hearing them tonight. As always, I have a story ready until you come up in the box, but I am hoping that we stay busy enough that I don't even have to read tonight. We shall see. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. I am also a horror author. I tell every kind of scary story you can imagine. Paranormal, ghost, aliens, possession, true crime, serial unalivers, urban legend, Appalachian horror, anyone? Horror movies brought to stories. You name it, I tell it. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. We have a way of how we go into story time here, and we'll do that in just a moment. But first, I just want to say, this is a warm, loving, safe, welcoming community. We are family here. We do not allow energy vampires. So if you're going to come in and be negative, shoo with you. I want you to come in for the next couple of hours and just relax. Just relax, let the weight of the day melt off your shoulders as we go into story time. Shall we begin? Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Light a candle to chase away the shadows. Pull your curtains nice and tight. And wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Tonight is Paranormal Wednesday. Until I see the first person come up in the box, I am going to begin reading. Tonight we visit the great state of Illinois. And the story, well, you know me. I'm going to find the most scary story that I can find from each state. And tonight's story is Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, a true Illinois haunting. Don't be shy. Come up in the box. When I see you, the story will be cut off. Let's begin. This is the Night Realm. I am the Night Queen. You are my night dwellers, and it is story time. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Dead. "25 miles southwest of Chicago, hidden deep in the Rubio Woods, lies a secret that the living world tried to forget. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. It's only 1 acre of land, but it is cursed ground where the dead simply refuse to stay dead. I can feel it already, just talking about the place. The temperature dropping, the way your skin crawls when unseen eyes are watching you. Because tonight, we're diving into the most documented, true haunting in American history. Oh yes, you heard me right. The most documented, true crime, true haunting in American history. This isn't fiction, my dark children. Every word I'm about to tell you has been witnessed, photographed, investigated, and verified. The Ghost Research Society has over 100 documented reports from this single acre of land. That is only 1 acre. That's not that big. Picture this. It's 1834. German immigrants are carving out new lives in the Illinois wilderness. They need a place to bury their dead. Edward M. Everton sets aside 1 precious acre of forest land. 82 burial plots. A peaceful resting place. But peace unfortunately was never meant to last at Bachelor's Grove. By the 1960s, when they rerouted the Midlothian Turnpike, this cemetery became lost, forgotten, abandoned to the woods and the shadows, and the things that hunt in the darkness between worlds. The vandals came first. Teenagers, drinking, partying, smashing headstones. They threw the markers into the murky pond nearby. They disturbed the graves. They awakened something that should have stayed sleeping, that should have never been disturbed. But the living weren't the only ones who noticed the desecration. The dead, they noticed too. And they were not pleased. Chapter 2. The Phantom House That Shouldn't Exist. Now here's where it truly gets terrifying, my dark children. Because Bachelor's Grove isn't just haunted by spirits. It's haunted by entire buildings that exist between dimensions. The Phantom Farmhouse, witnessed by dozens of people who had no idea that they were seeing something impossible. Picture this. You're walking through an overgrown cemetery path. Dead leaves crunch under your feet. The October wind whispers through bare branches above you. And then you see it. A 2-story white farmhouse, perfectly preserved. A front porch with a wooden swing, creaking gently in the breeze. Back and forth, back front window, a light burning warm and yellow against the gathering dusk. Witnesses describe the exact same details. White clapboard siding, a wide front porch, that hypnotic porch swing, the welcoming glow from within. Your rational mind would say, someone lives here, right? Even though you know this cemetery has been abandoned for decades. So you approach it. Your feet find the overgrown path leading to the porch steps. The house looks so real, so solid, so normal. But with each step forward, the house begins to shrink, getting smaller and smaller. The warm light in the window starts to dim. The porch swing stops its gentle creaking motion. And just as you're close enough to touch those white wooden steps, there's nothing there but empty air and the smell of rot, the smell of decay. Gone, disappeared, vanished into thin air. This isn't imagination, darlings. This phantom house has been documented by paranormal investigators since the 1970s. People who never heard the legend describe the identical details. The same house, the same porch, the same light. Tell me, what kind of place manifests entire buildings that shouldn't exist? What force is so powerful it can bend reality itself, making the living see homes for the dead? Thank you, Amy. Thank you. That was lovely. Chapter 3, The Madonna's Photograph, Evidence from Beyond. August the 10th, 1991. Judy Huff Fells adjusts her infrared camera and steps deeper into Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. First person. I have been fascinated with the paranormal and ghost ever since I was a little girl, growing up in Georgia. My grandmother was a psychic, my great-grandmother was a psychic, and I think it skipped my mom, but I got the gift. And I do call it a gift because not everyone has it. When I joined the Ghost Research Society, I was thrilled. And when they told me that my first mission was to visit the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, well, I was happy about it. I remember that I took my infrared camera, and the first moment that I stepped on Bachelor's Grove Cemetery land, I felt sadness. I was very sad. But I also had feelings of irritation, anger, and then sometimes just outright hostility. I remember when I went there, it was so hot. It was just pressing down like a suffocating blanket on me, and I barely could breathe. I remember that I found this tombstone. It was the Rick family. It was a husband, a wife, and their 2 children. Please keep in mind that it was summer. It was August. It was what they call Indian summer. And it was so hot that it was hard for me to breathe. When I approached the tombstones, I felt something. And I remember saying, it's so hot. If only there was a breeze. And then it happened. There was a breeze. A very cool breeze. But it wasn't a breeze that cooled me down. It was a breeze that made me apprehensive. I felt a presence. I felt that I was being watched. Something was watching me, and it was something that wanted to be seen. I raised my camera and I started talking to the Rick Stones. I remember exactly what I asked. I said, "Are you angry that this cemetery was abandoned?" And as you look around at it, it's sad. Everyone's tombstone should be kept clean and respected. These tombstones had been violated. Some of them had graffiti wrote on them. I think that is so disrespectful. And I named on the tombstone Thomas Rick, just kind of jumped out at me, and I knew that that was who I was seeing, who was watching me. It was Thomas Rick. His wife, Martha Rick, was buried beside him, and her tombstone was the one that had graffiti. You could tell that people had tried to scrub it away, but whatever they had sprayed on it had damaged the stone. So I raised my camera, and then I asked another question. I said, "That is so disrespectful, isn't it? For someone to not only abandon your tombstones to a big highway, but to just completely forget about you." And the tombstone that was next to Thomas Rick, it was a checkered pattern tombstone. There had been some thought put into this particular headstone. And I remember that I just kept feeling this cool breeze, and I sensed that it wasn't anything weather related, but that it was supernatural. As I was raising my camera, I saw this tombstone that had grass and weeds growing around it. I saw them disappear, and I saw the tombstone as it must have been back in the day. So I took the picture anyway, and I was just following my instincts. When I got back home, I went in my dark room and I was developing my film. And what I saw changed paranormal investigation as we know it forever. At first, I thought my eyes were deceiving me because the room was completely red from the dark room light. But as I watched it begin to develop, and I had it pinned to this cord there, sitting on this tombstone, is a woman. She was dressed in Victorian era dress that was flowing like liquid moonlight. She had dark hair cascading past her shoulders. She looked like she was in her 30s, maybe. She was semi-transparent. She was ethereal, but she was undeniably there. And I remember when I took that very snapshot, that's when I felt the wind. The woman's face is turned in profile. She's gazing downward with infinite sadness. I think she's very sad that her tombstone was desecrated. And her hands rest gently in her lap. She appears lost in grief. She's mourning. She's mourning very, very deeply. It is something that I will never forget. She almost looks as if she's about to cry on the photo. I just kept staring at this impossible image, and my hands were shaking as I was examining this photo. I believe in paranormal. I believe in ghosts. I do, but this was the first time that I saw actual documented proof that they do exist. Like I said, when I took the photo, she was not visible when that photo was taken, but in that photograph that I have now, she is captured on infrared film with perfect clarity. I had the photograph authenticated by multiple film companies. Camera experts have examined every frame that I took. There was no tampering, no double exposure, no fraud. Heck, the Chicago Sun-Times published it, and the National Examiner picked it up. Suddenly, with that one photo, the world was looking at genuine evidence of life after death, and I was the one that took it, and I'm proud of that. But this photograph, it's not just evidence of a ghost. It's evidence of a soul in torment. The Madonna of Bachelor's Grove, forever searching for something. Perhaps one of the lost children that lies beside her tombstone. Perhaps the desecration of her grave, forever trapped in a moment of unbearable grief. I saw the picture today, Night Dwellers. I'll show you in a bit. And once you see her face, you can never forget the sadness in her eyes. Chapter 4. The night that Judy captured eternity. People ask me all the time. And I want to tell you what really happened that night, because people ask me constantly. It's like they're trying to call me a liar. Was it real? Did I see her? Do I believe? Yes, yes, and yes. I've been investigating the paranormal for years, but nothing prepared me for Bachelor's Grove. The moment that I stepped through that broken fence, the atmosphere changed. It was heavy, it was oppressive. The only way that I can really describe it is like walking underwater. We went back for the second time, and this time my team went with me, and we all spread out across the cemetery. We had heard the stories. It's not just the woman that was sitting on the tombstone in my picture. We've heard of the white lady, the floating lights, the phantom sounds. But I wasn't thinking about ghosts when I felt drawn to that particular tombstone that first time. When you go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, I've been 5 times now. It's like someone is calling to you. Not with words, but with pure emotion. Grief so intense that when you step onto those grounds, I don't know about anyone else, but it almost makes my chest ache. I've taken my camera back, and I had felt the temperature drop 20 degrees in just mere seconds. I've never seen her again. It was just that one time. But I do remember back to that time, my breath became visible in the August heat. The hairs on my arms stood up. Every instinct screamed, run. But I couldn't move. Something needed me to take that picture. Everyone has asked me, how did it feel to document the first real paranormal sighting? And honestly, I felt a release. Like a held breath finally exhaled. Like what I had taken was going to open up the world of the paranormal in ways that we could have never imagined. Now people were going to see that there were spirits, that there were ghosts, that their loved ones that had passed away, that they had not left, that they were still there, that there was a residual energy about them. There was something tangible to prove that there was indeed life after death. Whatever was there that day, it wanted to be seen. It wanted proof of its existence. I'll be honest with you, after I captured that picture, I didn't sleep for weeks after developing that film. I was excited and sad and overwhelmed. I started to be contacted by newspapers and talk shows, and people wanted me to write a book. But I realized that woman, that beautiful, tragic woman that appeared to me, she'd been sitting on that stone, not for just a minute, a century or more, waiting, watching, hoping that someone would finally see her pain. People can debate and analyze and theorize all they want. But I know what I captured. I captured a moment of pure human anguish that death couldn't end. That's the facts. And sometimes late at night, I'll have a dream about her, sitting on her tombstone, right on top of it, still searching for what she lost, still hoping that someone can find her and give her peace. Chapter 5. The coin in the pond. When ghosts lead the living. Ken Melvoin Berg, a psychic detective, stepped into the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery with a Chicago Tribune reporter. Two skeptical men, one hoping to debunk the legend once and for all. But Bachelor's Grove had other plans. Ken and this reporter decided to go at night. 12 o'clock midnight, to be exact. They got out the car and walked up to the gate. Man, this place really is abandoned. Yeah, sure is. So, how long are you planning on being here? Not that long. It won't take that long. From the moment that they entered the gate onto the plot, they started to hear sounds. Did you hear that? Ken stopped suddenly, with his head tilted. The reporter was busy taking pictures. He heard nothing but wind through dead leaves. But Ken's face had gone pale. He heard crying. Hey, do you hear that crying? Crying? Yeah, it sounds like a little boy. Hey, I think this place is getting to you already. But there it was, a soft cry. Ken listened a little bit closer. Mommy. Mommy. No, I hear it. Do you hear it? Man, I don't hear anything. Listen. Mommy. Mommy. You hear it? It's a little boy. He's crying. Ken's voice began to slightly tremble. Where's my mommy? Where's my mommy? The voice was getting closer. Can you help me find my toy? Can you help me find my doggy? I lost it. Mommy. He says he lost something. Something important. Ken began walking, drawn by an invisible force, toward the murky pond at the cemetery's edge. Mommy. Mommy, can you help me find my toy? My little doggy. Mommy. Ken's voice, first person. I heard this boy just as clear as anything. He was calling for his mom. He said that he had lost his dog. And I felt like following after the voice. So, I don't know. I just felt like going toward the pond. It's not the clear water that it once was. It's decades of thrown headstones and debris and other things that have turned into a stagnant, algae-covered mirror of darkness, but I kept following, and when I got to the pond's edge, I heard the little boy again, but this time he was laughing. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, I see you. Have you seen my doggy? Have you seen my doggy? I lost it. I'm a sensible man. I'm a reasonable man. I'm a man of science. I looked over into the pond and I saw this boy, probably 6 or 7. He was dead. He was almost green. His eyes were milky white under the water's surface, and he was wearing little knickers with suspenders. I could see him just as clear as anything. And as I was looking down into the water, he laughed at me. Have you seen my doggy? Have you seen him? I can see him now. I don't know if one of his headstones was cast into the water or if the little boy wandered into the water looking for his dog. I don't know, but that was terrifying. It was so real to Ken that Ken got down on his knees and began to wade in the water, his hands searching frantically to pull up the little boy. Without hesitation, I just remember that I waded into the filthy pond because it looked like a boy that was living, and then as I watched him, his face changed, his eyes changed, his skin color changed. First person, the news reporter who wishes to remain anonymous. I were called out to Ken. I was concerned. Ken didn't respond. He was in this disgusting pond. He was bent over. His hands were plunging in the muck. And he was searching desperately. And then he turned around and he started yelling at me, "Help me find him!" "Help you find who, dude?" And then his fingers closed around something solid. Something that shouldn't have been there. It was something that had been waiting in that dark water. It was one of these. It was one of these dogs. Looked kind of like a hot dog. It had wheels on the bottom of it, and it had a string. The string was almost severed, but there was a string, and a kid could pull it behind him, and it would make like a clickety clack sound. I think its ears maybe would even swing back and forth. I looked on eBay, and there were a couple of them, but that is exactly what Ken found that night. He pulled it up from the water, and it was muddy, and he tried to splash some water over it, and it was still, I mean, in pretty decent condition. It had been down there a while. Ken, first person. I think that's the dog that the boy was looking for. I think he was looking for his toy. The reporter documented everything. The Chicago Tribune published the account. There's been word of another young boy as well, who says that he has lost something in the pond. A walking Liberty $50. And sure enough, there was one that was found exactly where the ghostly boy said that it would be. I guess I'm not so much of a skeptic anymore. I witnessed something that science cannot explain. I had a little boy guide me to a pond. I saw his bloated body, and I found his dog. That little boy and the other little boy with the coin had been waiting since 1942 for someone to find his lost treasure. And finally, someone heard his call, the call of the little boy who lost his dog. We're going to take an intermission, and when I come back, hopefully there are some that want to share their paranormal experiences. If not, the story of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery will continue. I'll be right back. Okay, let me see if I can find some pictures of Bachelor's Grove. Oh, wait, I found it. Bachelor's. Okay. So this is the picture that Judy saw. Um, she does look very sad. I believe here's an even better one. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine getting home, you're in your dark room, you're getting ready to process your film, and you see this? She looks very sad. Is that better? Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Isn't that crazy? Um, I am looking for I mean, people swear up and down when they go to this place that they see something paranormal. Here is this is someone that submitted a picture and said that they saw shaped shadows in this plot. And remember, this cemetery is only 1 acre. Yeah. But that picture was submitted too. I know, right? I'm just trying to see some of the best photos. It's a creepy cemetery. It really, really is. Here is another picture. Oh yeah? You see faces in the trees too? Oh, I'm trying to do it for you over there on YouTube, y'all. There we go. Ooh, here's one at night. Doesn't it? It does ooze creepy. See that? That's creepy right there, YouTube. Here is one part that is completely overgrown. They try to go in there and clean it up if they can, but it's just such a mess. No graveyard should look like that. See how overgrown it is? I mean, I don't approve of that. Here is an old gravestone with a little kid's toy. The tombstone is just damaged beyond repair. I know. It is creepy. Can y'all see that? Oh, this one is creepy. Can y'all see that one, Kimmy? I'll bring it closer if you can't. That is creepy. Yeah, that's terrifying. There have been so many places, graves that have been abandoned and mistreated. Here is they call her the Madonna, the picture that Judy took. This is a ghost hunting tour. And right there at that bench is where Judy snapped that shot of the forlorn looking spirit. I guess everyone is enjoying this story tonight and is just enraptured with it and has no paranormal experience to share. Yeah, it did. That's true. Here is another tombstone that was completely demolished. And you can see that it was of a child. And it has dolls, toys around it, balls. Oh, yes, Rebecca, we would love to hear it. Oh, yeah. Can you see where the tombstone was completely destroyed? And they actually went and made another one, a smaller one. And again, for those of you who might have just been returning from intermission, this is the picture. This is the one that Judy took when she visited Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. This is the woman in white. For those of you who did not see it. So that is Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. This is a good one. I am enjoying this. I have a love for the paranormal too. And this is my book, and that is what it is about. The Haunting of Hastings House. If you like a good ghost story that is going to chill you and make it hard for you to sleep, this is the one. My baby, the first book that I ever wrote, and she is available now. And when you purchase her, if you purchase her online and make an order, I will personally autograph your book live. You're on chapter 29? Awesome. So don't forget, there's a couple of announcements. One, Friday night from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I am going to be doing a meet and greet in YouTube. I want everyone to come in there and let's just have a good hour of hanging out, talking with one another, and just hanging out. There is still going to be story time on TikTok and YouTube at 8, but this is the meet and greet. I want to start doing that at least once a month. Secondly, tomorrow night is Thursday night. And what is that night? The Crimson Queen, Vampire Night, Fiction Night, another one of my creations. The story continues. Sunday night is subscriber chat only night. That is also Fiction Night, where I am telling the story, yet another creation of Cherry Hill. So lots of exciting things coming up. If you haven't joined YouTube, you probably haven't seen it, but we finally hit over 400 subscribers. You can join YouTube and become a subscriber for free. It's free, and you don't even have to leave my page. Just go to my bio, click the link, and follow. My next goal, we want to hit 500. We have 600 more to go. Can we do it? Yes, we can. But it's going to take everyone's help. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your granny, tell your grappy, tell your auntie and your uncle. Tell them, tell your friends, tell your cousins. Follow her. You can threaten them like X did with her son, saying she wasn't going to make him Thanksgiving dinner. Do whatever you have to do to make them subscribe. It's free. You have access to all the lives. Every live is recorded. A lot of people use it to fall asleep. So, join. It's free. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much for the gifting. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you all. Without you, Twisted Tales Live would not exist. So thank you so much. With that being said, it's time to get back into the story. Now don't forget, this is viewer's choice. This is your decision. If you want to come in and tell a paranormal experience, we want to hear it. So you are not bothering me. You're not interrupting the story. Come in and share your experience. We would love to hear it with you. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Still have that candle lit. Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Oh, thank you. That was lovely. Thank you, thank you. Was that X? I think that was X. Sometimes I don't see it quickly enough. Chapter 6, The Farmer's Eternal Harvest. Some ghosts are born from violence, others from tragedy. But the farmer of Bachelor's Grove, he was born from duty. The kind of duty that doesn't end with death. Picture 1870. The cemetery is young, peaceful. No weeds, no overgrowth. Nearby fields stretch golden with corn and wheat. The air smells of fresh earth and growing things. Life is hard, but honest. Henrik Mueller tends his fields every day before dawn. His horse, a massive draft animal named Thunder, pulls the plow through the rich Illinois soil. The same routine every day for 20 years. But on this October morning, something spooked Thunder. Maybe a snake in the furrow. Maybe the scent of death already lingering over Bachelor's Grove. The massive horse reared, whinnied in terror, and bolted. Henrik couldn't let go of the plow straps fast enough. The leather wrapped around his wrist. Thunder dragged him across the field, his body bouncing and breaking on the hard autumn ground. Straight toward the quarry pond. They found Henrik 3 days later, drowned in the same pond where his horse had stopped to drink. But Henrik's story was just beginning, my children. Because witnesses started seeing him, always at dawn, always in period clothing, overalls, a work shirt, a wide-brimmed hat, and always with his Clydesdale Thunder. At first it was dawn, but then it became any part of the day. Maria, first person. My family and I lived just a piece from Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. And there was this one particular night that Mama had made something that just wasn't sitting right with my stomach. I told him I was going to take a walk. It was October. I remember the moon was big and orange. I think y'all call it a harvest moon. We called it a witch's moon. I was walking around in the front of the house at first, but that wasn't helping. So I decided I would walk off just a little bit from our property, and I was walking down this dirt road, and I heard hooves, the rhythmic thud of hooves on the ground. And I could hear a harness, like the creak of the leather. And I could hear the scraping of a plow blade cutting through the earth. And then out of nowhere, I looked out toward the field to the left, and I saw it. I saw this massive horse, and he was dragging this harness and this plow, and I could see this man bobbing up and down, being dragged, and they were going straight toward the pond. I hollered out, "Wait a minute, there's a pond ahead." And then just like that, they disappeared. Just disappeared, gone, vanished into thin air. Tommy, first person. Daddy and I got up at the crack of dawn to get all the farming done before I had to go to school. Just about every morning, we would hear those whoos. We knew that Henrik had died from that. But there was this one time I saw him, and I was just curious, so I followed them. They got almost right to the very tip of the pond. And then Mr. Henrik, he turned and he looked right at me. It was scary because his eyes were hollow and they were waterlogged. And he reached out that one rotten hand, because they said that's how it happened. The strap got wrapped around his hand, and that's why old Thunder pulled him off. Clara, first person. When you've got two sets of twins, it's just impossible to keep your eyes on them at all times. I had two sets. Two of them were 8, 2 of them were 10. I expected the 10-year-olds to take care of the 8-year-olds, but sometimes I swear the 8-year-olds were more intelligent than the 10-year-olds were. Anyway, those kids were always wanting to go and play down by that pond, and I told them to stay away from it, but they don't listen to nothing. And then I heard the 8-year-olds running toward the house one day. Mama, Mama, some man showed up and said, we're going to drown. I went out there, and there was nothing there. I gave those kids a couple swatings on the legs, though, with a switch. Made them pull it off the tree. When we were sitting there at night, the mister, he got on the kids about it. And he told them about Henrik, that man that drowned with his old horse, dragging him across the field. Bumpity bump, bump, bump. Who knows? The twins will probably go back. Carolyn, 1956. First person. My husband was up in age. He was my third husband, considerably older than I was. He swears up and down that one day he was out there and he was working the field. And he said it was hot. And he was trying to drink him some water. And then he heard this thundering. He said that it wasn't just the thundering of the ground, it was the thundering of his heart. Otis was about to have a heart attack. He had fallen down on the road, And then he said he kept hearing those hooves coming in that harness and that plow. He said the next thing that happened was he was stumbling along. He said he came just inches from where this pond was. He said this man reached out with this old withered hand and pushed him back onto the ground. My husband, Otis, he said that he was trying to save others from his same fate. I don't know about all that now, but Otis swears by it. Chapter 7. The Orbs That Dance with Death. When darkness falls over Bachelor's Grove, the cemetery transforms into something from another dimension. As I said earlier, there is a house that appears. The air shimmers, reality bends, and the orbs begin their daily flights. Basketball-sized spheres of light, glowing with a inner orange fire that has nothing to do of this world. Yellow like infected sunlight, red like fresh blood, blue like the lips of the drowned. People are mesmerized by these orbs. They float between the broken headstones with purpose, intelligence. These aren't random phenomena. They're hunting, searching, following the living with predatory intent. Sarah Chin, paranormal investigator, documented her encounter in 1998. First person. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is one place that I wanted to visit. And when the opportunity opened for me to photograph this cemetery, I arrived there around 8:00 p.m. in the evening. And there's this pond that is right on the edge of the cemetery. And I noticed this red light. And this light wasn't like small, it was big. I would say like a soccer ball, maybe even bigger, but I remember the vivid red light. And it was just hovering. I didn't know if I was witnessing something that was extraterrestrial or what. But then it was almost as if this orb noticed me. It seemed curious, almost playful even. It would bounce in from between the stones. Like it would be here 1 second and the next it would be here and then it would be here. And I just kind of watched it warily. And then as I got the pictures that I wanted of the pond, and the pictures were incredible, the lighting in the sky was just unreal. As I moved away from the pond and moved deeper into the cemetery, I turned around and this red orb of light, the size between a soccer ball and a basketball, was following me. It was actually following me. I picked up my speed and the orb grew brighter and larger. And the thing about it was I could feel heat radiating from it, even from 20 feet away. And then it got closer to me and it started pushing like a heartbeat. It was pulsating. It was alive. I ran, but the orb followed and stayed about 15 to 10 feet behind me no matter how fast that I moved, and I was scared. And it herded me back toward that pond again where Henrik had drowned. The guy that got his hand wrapped around the straps and his horse carried him to the pond and he was drowned. It was also where the mob had dumped these bodies and where a little boy had supposedly drowned, and where the water is so dark you just cannot see the bottom of it. As it pushed me toward the water's edge, I felt myself being pulled forward. Not physically, but mentally. Like the red orb was trying its best to make me walk into that black water. Like it wanted me to join whatever was waiting beneath the surface. It's one of the scariest experiences that I've had in my life. The Ghost Research Society has documented over 50 orb encounters, my children of the night. Some benign, others predatory, chasing, but all of them are intelligent. All of them connected to the tragic deaths that haunt Bachelor's Grove. Because these aren't just lights. They're souls. Souls so traumatized by their deaths that they've been reduced to pure energy, pure hunger, pure need. And they're looking for others to join them in their eternal torment. Chapter 8, The Caretaker's Warning. Not all of Bachelor Grove's ghosts want to be seen. Some of them indeed want to be left alone. And the caretaker will make sure that this is done. His name was Walter Simmons. For 30 years, he tended Bachelor's Grove with obsessive devotion. Mowed the grass, repaired headstones, chased away vandals and teenagers who came to party among the dead. Walter lived alone in a small house on the cemetery grounds. No family, no friends, just him and the graves he protected with his life. Literally. The teenagers were getting worse. Drinking, breaking things, disturbing the peace of his beloved dead. Walter had had enough. That October night, he soaked his house with kerosene, lit a match, and burned it all down. himself inside. But death didn't end Walter's vigil. If anything, it made him more dedicated, more violent. Witnesses describe him as a tall figure in work clothes, carrying a kerosene lantern in one hand and a shotgun in the other. His face is charred black from the fire. His eyes burn like coals in a skull. First person, Lydia. My name is Lydia Rivera, and I'm an urban explorer, and I encountered the caretaker in 2015. I was photographing the cemetery at midnight for a magazine publication when I heard footsteps, heavy boots on gravel. I was told there would be no one there, and that I could go in and have free reign for a couple of hours. I could hear the gravel very clearly, but there was no gravel path where this sound was coming from. I turned and there he was, 30 feet away, walking straight toward me. I remember the lantern cast this very sick yellow greenish light that just made everything look like it was diseased. And that weapon that he had was pointed right at my chest. He didn't speak, he just raised it and pulled the trigger, and I heard a blast. I felt the wind of the shot pass my face, but when I looked, there was no hole in the tree behind me, no pellet marks, nothing. And I remember that the caretaker smiled at me, then showed me teeth like burnt matchsticks, and spoke in a voice that was like grinding bone. Get out. I ran, like everyone who meets the caretaker runs, because Walter Simmons died protecting his cemetery, and death has only made him even more determined to keep the living away from his sacred dead. He's still out there, still patrolling, still guarding Bachelor's Grove with supernatural fury. Be careful. Chapter 9, The Two-Headed Guardian of the Deep. In the deepest, darkest corner of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, where the shadows never lift, even at noon, something watches from the murky pond. Something that should not exist in our reality. The witnesses call it the two-headed thing. But that name doesn't capture the true horror of what lurks beneath those stagnant waters. The pond isn't natural. It's a flooded quarry, excavated in the 1800s and abandoned when they found things in the rock that shouldn't have been there. Fossils that didn't match any known species. formations that suggested intelligence far older than human civilization. Jennifer Walsh, marine biologist, investigated the pond in 2003 with underwater equipment. First person. I think what I remember most about the pond was the water was like black ink. Our lights penetrated maybe 3 feet. It was the darkest experience I had ever had diving. But the sonar readings, they showed something massive down there, something that moved with the probe. And we had to have these special lights to go deeper, and at 40 feet down, we found the headstones, dozens of them, thrown in by vandals over the decades. But they weren't scattered randomly. They were arranged in a perfect circle around something. Our underwater camera caught a glimpse. It was just a glimpse, but it looked like it was 2 heads, each the size of a car hood, faces that were almost human, but terribly wrong, eyes that were like black holes, mouths that opened sideways instead of up and down. The thing that Jennifer saw isn't just a ghost. It's something that was already ancient when the first humans walked this land. Something that feeds on the energy of death and trauma. The quarry workers didn't abandon the site because of the flooding. They abandoned it because they dug too deep. They found the Guardian's resting place, and it's been waiting ever since for enough death to wake it fully. Bachelor's Grove isn't just haunted by human spirits. It's a thin place between dimensions, a crack in reality where older, hungrier things can push through. And every ghost, every apparition, every orb of light, they're not just hauntings, they're food. Feeding the thing in the deep until it's strong enough to rise. Chapter 10, The Eternal Vigil. Why Bachelor's Grove never sleeps. So why, my dark night dwellers, does Bachelor's Grove remain so active? Why do the dead refuse to rest in this one cursed acre of Illinois earth? Because Bachelor's Grove isn't just a cemetery. It's a wound in the fabric of reality itself. A place where so much tragedy, so much pain, so much violent disruption of the natural order has occurred that the barrier between life and death has been permanently torn. Think about it. Native American burial grounds disturbed by settlers. Early pioneers dying of disease and hardship. Henrik dragged to his death. Walter burning alive in madness. Decades of vandalism and desecration. Mob bodies hidden in the depths. Each trauma, each death, each act of violence adds another crack to the wall between worlds, until finally the wall collapsed entirely. The Madonna sits on her stone because she's trapped in a moment of her greatest grief. Henrik plows his eternal field because duty is all he knew in life. The caretaker burns with protective rage that death couldn't extinguish. And beneath it all, the ancient guardian feeds on their pain, growing stronger with each new ghost, each new tragedy, each new soul that refuses to cross over. But here's what truly terrifies me about Bachelor's Grove. It's not done. The hauntings continue. New spirits arrive. The paranormal activity intensifies year by year. Because Bachelor's Grove has become a beacon for the lost, the traumatized, the souls who can't find peace. They're drawn there like moths to flame, seeking others who understand their pain. And maybe that's what makes this place so important. In our world that wants to forget death, to hide from grief, to pretend that trauma doesn't leave permanent scars, Bachelor's Grove remembers. It holds space for the broken. It gives voice to the silenced. It proves that some pain is so deep, so profound, that it echoes through eternity. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, where the dead refuse to be forgotten, where the living can still witness the eternal truth. Love, loss, and longing are stronger than death itself. Bend where the road forgets its name, and oaks sow shadows into seams. A bench of stone remembers light, a mother rocks in woven dreams. The pond keeps horses made of rain, and houses bloom, then turn to air. A camera blinks, the white dress breathes. She's there. She's gone. She's always there. If grief sits down, we lend a chair. If names grow thin, we stitch them tight. 1 acre holds 100 years. We leave in day, but keep at night. eyes burrow deep where they cannot flee. And in the darkest corridors of your nightmares, you belong. To me. You too.